Hey everybody, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Just got a call from my buddy Terry, who is the property manager out here at the Sawgrass Mall, that a palm frond fell down with a full-fledged bee colony on it. Man, that was lucky. Look at that. They actually landed on their back. So all that comb is sticking up. Some of it's kind of flattened down here, but obviously we still have a queen. And there's, well, some of that brood is exposed at this point, but I think this is something we can rescue.
Where'd they come from?
They came from up there where you see all those foragers going, hey, where's home?
Yeah. Okay.
You see that little, oh, I sure hope that little cluster doesn't have the queen in it because she flew back up there.
Well, I'm trying to see if I can see that.
Well, if you come over here
Oh
to
yeah, I
where
do.
I am, you're backing it up against the tree. If you step over here where I am, you can get blue sky behind it.
I got it. I got it. But let's go. Let's go put some protective clothing on just in case.
Yep. This is going to be good though. I brought the right equipment based on his picture. Okay, well, cross your fingers. Let's see how this works. Ready?
Wow. That went about as smooth as I think it could go.
Yep. All right. See you back at the house. Okay, back again. Here we are back in the bee yard. Table set up, the bin in position. I cracked it open for them here a couple of minutes ago because I wanted to make sure they had plenty of ventilation while I was getting my stuff ready. Stuff being, we have here a nuke with a slided rack underneath it. In other words, the setup I like. I have a second body in case we need two of them on this. Not going to know until we open this up and see how much brood is still viable or not. They're a little testier here because they've just had a 20-minute ride. So hopefully I don't get too stung up. But this isn't something I think I can do with a whole bunch of gloves and bee suit stuff on. So we're just going to have to see what we shall see. Yep, I got nothing but bees.
So nothing to grab?
I got nothing to grab but fuzzies.
Were you going to dump them out on the table, or how about maybe gently
I was
nudge them
going
out
to
on the
try to lift
table?
them out. So what I'm going to try to do now is smoke this little edge right here and see if I can get to the handle, as it were. It's opening up. 2 fingers and that's it.
Well, it looks like it's enough. Wow. So there's brood, and that looks like drone
Oh, it's a
comb.
mature hive.
Yeah,
So
look at the length
keep
of
in
that
mind,
comb.
this is the end of February.
It's probably why the branch broke.
Yeah, it's gotten too heavy.
Yeah.
This is the end of February. So this hive successfully created itself last summer sometime. It went through our winter. It went through the storms and it went through the cold snaps and everything else, and it was doing fine.
And it was on the outside of a palm tree.
But it unfortunately was the bottom run of fronds on a sable palm. And every spring, the bottom fronds on a sable palm die and fall away. And this one was probably sped up by the fact that this was a rather heavy hive hanging from it. If this had been attached to something more substantial, this hive would have been fine all summer long, and nobody would have bothered it because it was way up in the air, well out of anybody's flight line. So it was just bad luck that they chose a poor situation. And I don't know what I've got or don't got here. I don't see a queen. I don't see a cluster of bees deep enough to be a queen. There's a little thickening right there. I mean, there's no reason to think she isn't just with the other stuff. Assuming she's even alive. Assuming she didn't get crushed, either in the initial accident. But they're all there, so I'm kind of assuming she didn't. Well, I hardly know where to start. Let's see.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of bees on this brood either.
No, that brood is chilled. It's
brood is
gone
dead.
now.
Okay. There are a lot of bees at the top, so.
Yeah, well, see, they were finding plenty of nectar. They were starting to do their expansion for the summer. And being out at the end of this frond, this thing was waving around in the air all the time. I mean, it's not like they didn't know something had to happen here. But
I don't know. This is the coolest thing I've seen in a while. Seeing as how it's so long, just wondering if I know you're not supposed to put comb in sideways, but damn, it would fit better.
No. What we need is going to work along that way.
Upside, because it was. Well, where's the top of it? I'm assuming it goes down from where you are.
Sweetheart, this stuff is attached to dead frond bits.
Oh my gosh.
There is no telling what's going on with this.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to use this big table.
Yeah.
Because I knew I would have to be laying out a bunch of pieces of comb. And I guess there's just really nothing to do but just pick a spot and start cutting.
I guess. Is that propolis? Did they propolis those two pieces together?
They certainly did.
Oh my goodness.
I know this area down here is pretty well shot. Well, that's sad. Okay, maybe that piece underneath has some good viable brood in it. That would be great.
They may have been able to keep that warm, but not this part.
No, this is no good either.
That looks like it was crushed.
Look, it's full of maggots.
Oh my.
Only small hive beetle
And small
maggots.
hive beetle. Yeah. Get rid of that.
Yeah, well. This is full of soapy water, and it's where I dump small hive beetles when I see them.
You mean that white bucket?
That white bucket
Yeah.
has soapy water in it. It's rather nasty at this point, but so is this.
Oh, yuck. Yeah. We're not bringing that into the colony.
Oh no. I mean, look at that brood that was still there, but it's all kind of maggot ridden down in there.
Yeah. When did this actually happen?
Well, there's no way of knowing. They only mow at this time of year, probably only twice a month.
So it could have been out there a week or more. I wouldn't even dump those bees back in there. You might dump some of those maggots in there with them.
Yeah, well, maggots dumped on no brood is fine. Killing all maggots.
Ick.
This may not be a successful. You can see this fell this way, and they've been attaching it where they can find it. I don't. I could be cutting through the middle of something right now. I just don't really know.
No, I think your instincts are pretty good. Whatever comb you can give them is better than nothing, maybe, as long as it's not infested.
This is just too insane. All these palm fronds. This is the stem that comes up. This was the fan out here, but they're all curled in. That's crackly you hear is me cutting through palm frond. Bad palm frond.
Weird.
They just braced everything against everything here.
Yeah.
Man.
From this angle, I can see layers. I can
Yeah.
see one,
But what you don't
two,
see
three,
is
four
that
layers
the tops
here.
of these layers now have been fused together.
Yeah. I'm just saying maybe it's a starting point.
Kind of.
This one's even stranger than the one we cut out of the bottom of a hot tub.
Yeah. It's like you can see where these were this way, and now they've all gotten flattened over and attached. And
Yeah, which makes me wonder how long it was sitting there on the ground.
oh, more than a week. No doubt about that.
And they were trying to make a go of it just on the ground there.
Bees will fix anything if you give them a chance.
Yeah, I believe that's right. So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this method is better for these because they're long and thin than the crisscross across the back?
Yeah, since they're so large, it just doesn't seem to make much sense to try to lay them in. I'm gonna be struggling this way either way.
Yeah.
They are such gentle girls.
Oh, considering what they've been through? Hell yeah.
And what I'm putting them through right now, hell yeah.
Gonna try and save something? That's just bizarre. All that propolis on that comb.
I'm trying to make this. There we go. Trying to figure out which way was up. This way is up actually.
To be honest,
They're just gonna have to fix it either way.
they will work something out, I guess. Do you think all that brood is chilled as well?
This, no, it might
No.
actually be viable.
Okay.
I mean, the
Hopefully.
open cells are shiny, so
Yep.
it's possible. Would you look at that one again and see whether you see any maggots? See whether I need to throw that into
I
the.
think I would throw this away, honey. I would not save that. All of those cells are
Oh, I know it's all.
concave,
Yeah,
which means that they're not really viable.
oh, I know they're not. I was just wondering if they're
That's just too much of a mess on the back.
yeah, but it's at this moment it can go in the freezer for salvage. The stuff that I throw in the bucket here, it can't be later processed for wax. It just has to get thrown away.
Yeah, I do see some honey coming out there, though. Where your
Yeah,
knife is, coming down a little
yes,
bit.
dear, I see it.
They might want that. In fact, I'm sure there will.
Well, I've already made up the sugar syrup for them. Just gonna have to be satisfied with sugar syrup. If I can get the comb, I will, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
Well, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
They're migrating over to the comb from the bin.
Yeah.
Oh, if you leave them, they'll probably do it on their own, honey.
Well. Oh, let's see. Uh-huh. I found an opening.
You have not seen the queen yet, though, huh? I have not either.
And I'm not seeing any bees really.
Well, over here they are.
That's true.
And I would think she'd run as far away from your knife as she could possibly get.
Yeah. I have got huge festooning of bees over here.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I can get rid of some of them without dropping too many on the ground. We certainly had plenty of stores.
Oh, well, you wrestle with that. I'm a little curious about what's going on over here.
Okay.
Because there's no reason for them to be on this frame. And you haven't even used that knife. So.
So you think we may have a queen?
There might be some reason why they're over here. I do not see her, though. You can see this is where a turkey feather works really nicely and does a little less damage than the bee brush does.
Oh gosh, yes. I'm sorry, you're not getting what I'm getting here, but I'm moving it down in between the fronds and scooping out piles.
Yes.
Ow. Somebody just stung me on the leg, but it was probably a brown bee that crawled up onto my leg.
Well, I don't think you sprayed your legs, did you?
Nope.
Yeah. So there's some stores in that comb. We can see some bee bread and hopefully some brood.
There's a bit of brood.
It didn't get chilled. Speaking of chilled, looks like your elastic bands are not great.
Note to self, never buy a pound of rubbers again.
Yeah.
It just isn't worth it.
They go bad before you get a chance to use them all.
Yeah. It's so much more economical to buy them by the pound, but if half of them go to waste, then it's not economical anymore.
Did you get the small hive beetle?
Yeah. One thing about our open air hives is they can't do much about the small hive beetles. They just chase them around and around and around. They can't corral them because they can't pin them anywhere.
Maybe that's what all that propolis was for on between those two combs.
Oh, that's possible.
It could be a small hive beetle corral. Yeah, sure. I've read about them, have not seen one.
Oh, I see them all the time. Whenever you lift the inner cover and you see a big open square underneath the inner cover of propolis, you've just opened the jail. Yeah. Well, ladies, if you survive this, you'll have quite a story to tell. Now, one of the things that fascinates me is how much of this is down to the frame. Now, you'll notice the comparison between this and foundation.
Yeah.
This is just the midrib and the markings. So they have been stripping the wax from these damaged and unusable cells and repurposing it and just leaving the pattern behind.
Just leaving the rib.
If you wonder why the idea occurred to beekeepers that they might be able to make some sort of artificial foundation, this is why. I mean, the other side, that's been hit by small. No, that's been in the. This on the other side has been hit by wax moths in the past.
Well, show that rib again so I can get a
Okay.
really good. You can see that, yeah,
It looks like it should be ribbing on a piece of foundation.
because the other pieces are raised.
Yeah. You can see back here, this was hit by small or by wax moths at some point in the past, but they're not there now. So definitely not as easy as doing our bucket cutouts.
No.
You understand why people go, oh, bucket cutout. That's so hard to have to cut them out. Why not just
Eh,
build a different kind? Well, it's like
no.
no, it's really easy.
Compared to this mess, yeah. So what do we
Okay.
got in there now? 3?
Yeah. And if I can just get 4 in,
I
then
mean,
I
I'd
will start.
say
I'll
you
start another
have
box.
you have enough comb. Well, I don't know how much of this is usable. I would say not much more. But I mean, you have enough bees to cover comb in 2 boxes, but I don't think you have enough comb
No.
to put in 2 boxes. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess. Oh, you've got quite, look at that comb right there.
This piece?
Right there. Yeah, focus on that.
Okay.
There's a lot of bees there.
Well, it's new comb.
Yeah.
You're right. It is new comb, and if the queen were anywhere, she'd be laying in the new comb that they were just drawing out.
Who's running away from me right now? Who was on the top? I think I saw a queen on the top. No, the other side, honey. I can't tell looking through the camera, so you may have to look.
I'm not seeing it, so we're just going to do this. And now listen for a change in tone, maybe. You see the white comb that they were just working on?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if there's any way to save that. I don't know about you, but it sounds wrong when comb is crunchy.
Well, it's not the comb, dear. It's just
I understand that, but I don't think
the
there's any
frond.
saving that. Flip it over. There's a lot of long
Mhm.
pieces of white comb on the other side.
That's why I was trying to get rid of this.
Yeah, I don't know
So
if that's savable.
Don't know. But I was dumping some bees out of it so that we could give it a shot. But as you can see, every single bit of frond has
Right.
comb attached.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll like frames better.
Honestly, I feel more like I'm opening a lobster here.
It sounds like it too.
Yeah. The bees are happily staying over there.
They are, which leads me to believe that the queen is over there already.
If we have one.
Well, if we don't have a queen, we have that little tiny swarm in the bucket that you just caught the other day.
Yeah, well,
that could be happily combined.
It's undoubtedly a virgin. Now, can't blame them for that. I was undoubtedly putting pressure on her.
Yep.
These are some super gentle bees.
Oh, please. You've been tearing this thing apart in your bare hands.
And
I'm
please
surprised you've
note,
only taken
from
one.
this same location, maybe 600 yards away from here, were colonies of bees last year that I wouldn't touch. They were so ferocious. You pull up a good 80 feet away from the hive, get out, and you're immediately attacked. So the bees around Sawgrass Mall are about as feral as they come.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have gotten many beautiful colonies from there, and I've gotten bees that I would have nothing to do with. Both. Well, this was honeycomb. You can tell by the thickness of it. And yet still, on this side, you see they were stripping down the comb to try to reconstruct other areas.
Yeah. Are you really going to put that in with there with all the palm fronds on it?
Well, I've taken off one of the palm fronds I can, so, you know.
I mean, when we go to harvest this stuff, it's going to be pretty
Oh, there's no harvesting
weird.
this. This is forever brood comb.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you might want it for wax. I don't know.
If I can give anything I can give them of theirs, dear, I want to give them of theirs.
Oh, understood.
Look at the resources there. Oh, and look at that good chunk of
Brood.
brood.
Oh, yeah. Let's give them that, at least.
Notice how few bees we have left here, really. I mean, there's this
Yeah.
group over here you can't see, but they've been here from the beginning.
Oh, yeah. We can see
Because
them.
they're just nurse bees and they don't know what to do. Yeah. Dustpans are rarely a tool used in swarm removal, but I'm going to have to go get a dustpan, I'm afraid, for these.
To be honest, sweetheart, I would lop that off at the top of that bit of brood comb and call it a day. I don't know what's underneath that. And it looks bad.
You can see from how old this comb is.
Yeah.
These bees were there for a long time. I mean, palm fronds don't just last 1 year, they last some years. But that's going in there. That's definite. It may be weird, but it's going in there. Well, we've got a nice piece of resources here. We got some brood comb here. Looks like, and we got some odd pieces. Looks like we're going to be able to do a good job of filling up this frame. This will be frame number 4, and that's I think the last one I'll try to put in there. And if in a couple of weeks we still have a colony here, if they have a queen, if things are, going well, then we will put in some drawn comb. Oh, this is too hilarious for words. There we go. I'm actually sliding this bottom piece into the groove. I mean, you rarely get a wooden groove to go putting a piece of
That's
comb in.
bizarre.
That is just fun. That is fun. If I turn you around this way. Okay, this little area is nasty. Damn it, but it's got to go on.
What are you looking at?
Well, I'm trying to look carefully to see if in these resources here I've got small hive beetles, larvae or anything.
It's a bad looking piece. Why don't you throw that in the bucket?
Oh, that's not the point, dear. Come here,
Did I
sweetie.
miss the point?
I just want to know.
It will be interesting to me to see if they take those palm fronds out the way they take the elastic bands out.
They won't. They won't. No, I can tell you that. That's
Really? They're
yeah,
just going to build around them?
yeah. If you'll remember, back when I went from using top bars,
Yeah,
and we converted over,
yeah.
and we actually put the top bars with wooden dowels into the regular.
And they built around the
They just
dowels.
built around the dowels and on out to the edges.
That's true.
Whereas before they'd stayed this far away from the dowels, and they
But
built right up
dowels
to
are a
them.
lot thicker than those flimsy little palm fronds.
They're not taking these out. They're not taking them
I
out.
guess we'll find out.
I can assure you of that. That's all gonna just stay incorporated. They might trim out some of the pieces that aren't inside embedded already, but I don't even think they'll do that. I think they'll just go right ahead with the whole thing. No.
Oh, yeah.
Look how, I mean, there were a
Yes.
lot more bees in there before than that,
That's
too.
what I was saying. They're just moving over on their
I
own.
have not given that
The smoker's on the ground
smoker
over there.
a puff in half an hour. Oh,
Oh
look
no,
at that. It's still
it's
going.
still good.
Okay, good. I have not needed it. The
Yeah,
two
really.
stings that I've taken have been my own fault and not the bees. These are some gentle girls, but they're also obstinate girls.
Well, I don't see any smoke coming out of it now. When you had it standing straight up, it was.
Nothing's going on.
No, I think it's the angle.
Yeah.
Use the feather.
That would be some use. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, dear.
Hello, ladies. I'll put it empty on the side.
Do that with a bee brush. These are some battered and bruised girls.
Oh, be careful. You have debris in the bottom of that you don't want to dump in.
No, dear, I wasn't going to dump it.
Okay.
I was going to brush some of these girls in the top and kill the small hive beetles that I come across. Okay, so. Oh, how about that?
You've got some
From
wired
your
frames over there.
Yep.
If you want one of those. For the last one.
Well, what I'm chuckling at the moment is that this bin fits perfectly and directly under the landing board.
Oh, so they can walk up and get in.
They can just stroll right on up.
Okay, well, that is undoubtedly what they'll do because they have been entering right into the nuke this whole time. Just moseying in, nice as you please. Nice and gentle. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Even at that, I think there's a couple of bees pinned under at this end. Move, move, move. Come on, ladies. See, they're landing all over me, but they're not concerned with anything.
Well, we might need to get rid of this comb so it's not attractive to them anymore. Yeah, you got rid of there. Well,
Well,
you ready to wrap it up?
I'm just sitting here wondering whether I should put the queen excluder, this other box, and just set this piece on top of the queen excluder on top of the box and give the bees a chance to move
And let them rub it
down.
out.
Because I don't have anything solid enough. Oh no, there we go. Not solid enough. It just suddenly occurred to me that I had the bin down there,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, give these a chance to move up.
What's the plan?
Oh, well, we're down to the end of it now. I'm just going to get a brush pan, brush these bees into it, dump them over there, close them up, give them some sugar water, and hope that we have a nice colony in the morning and cross our fingers that maybe there's a queen involved here somewhere because they can't make one on their own. So if in a few days there's no indication of the queen in there, then we'll just have to see about merging them with one of the swarms we catch sometimes here in the near future. At the most, South Florida it gets a bee colony on a palm frond that fell on the ground. Well, only in South Florida. So have a great evening, everybody. Bye now. All right, everybody. It's a week later now, a little late in the day because we've just had 3 days of rain. This may be a bad idea, but the girls seemed pretty calm and they were real gentle before. So even though it's like 6 o'clock, we finally have clear skies after 2 days of rain. So I want to check and find out how they're doing. They've certainly done a wonderful job of scarfing several containers worth of sugar. So I want to see where we're at. I'm just going to walk by you here for a moment because this is convenient.
And what are those on top?
Swiffer sheets. And in fact, they're because you remember there were so many. Oh, you really want me to stand in front of a hive?
No, but I want to stand behind the hive because
Oh, okay.
otherwise I have to stand in front of the hive.
All right. There were old Swiffer sheets. See the small hive beetle stuck there?
Yeah.
Oh, look, another small hive beetle stuck there. Um, this was actually just one of my experiments. I took these old Swiffer sheets that were coated in propolis and I put them in a jar of strong alcohol and I dissolved most of the propolis off of them. And it's an artificial material, so I just let them dry out again. And it's pre-fluffed material. You know, the bees fluff up the material on these, so I put that on there. Well, good. So they caught a couple of small hive beetles. All right, so to remember, this frame and this frame had no activity. These three frames here were brood frames because I rather suspected the queen would quickly want to move up into those three nice, clean, ready to go brood frames. Now I see some fresh white wax in here. I'm going to take out this in frame first because maybe they're not doing anything with it. Maybe they are. It depends on how enthusiastic they are. I feel some weight on it. Look at
Yep.
that. They have drawn out that whole side. I gave it some extra heavy wax. Yeah, but still plenty of small hive beetles. I just saw two running around there. But look at that. They're doing great. So I'm sure these just look like they should look. Okay. Well, ladies, I was hoping to see cap cells up here.
Well, you're in the top box too.
Yes, I know. But they had so much repair work they have to do in the bottom box, I was hoping the queen would just move up here.
She may have. We've got a lot of bundles of bees up there.
Yeah, well, I've got 3 good frames of brood come up here. So. Oh yeah, they're full of brood. I should probably take one of this. I should take this frame and put it in hive number 3 because hive number 3 has gone queenless. Yeah, plenty of brood, not just capped yet. Over here, they're putting in stores, and that's a frame of comb of drawn. Oh, they've look at that. They've almost drawn this frame of foundation out on both sides. Well, that's what I put 2 frames of comb and then 2 frames of foundation, and then over here I dropped an empty frame in, not thinking they would be doing anything. Oh, this okay. Now there was some construction there before. That wasn't empty. That looked about like that. They've just kind of freshened up the edges of it. Okay. Well, they're obviously happy, but
They've been
that's not what
busy.
that's not what you guys are out here to see. What you guys want to see is what they've done with all those wonky bits of comb that I was able to salvage from that curled up uh,
You
palm
might
leaf.
be good to put the cover on that one so they're not both exposed at the same time. Just a thought.
Well, not a bad idea, but I'm not going to put the cover on because there's a lot of bees on the underside of it because that one had the feeder.
Yeah.
So just put that on
Yeah. Just to save some of their bee funk for them.
there. Okay, now for the fun.
Yes, let's see what this looks like.
Let's see if they decided to decide this was a slum area and just move into that higher status stuff up high, or whether they're actually down here working. Okay.
Well, that one's empty.
Yeah, well, remember we had 4 frames of brood, dear, or 4 frames of comb, I should say. And they have not done much of any work down here at all. That's pathetic. You girls did not read the manual, did you? You did not read the manual.
Well, maybe they preferred your nice fresh comb that was nice and straight and didn't have any bumps in it that you had saved than
Yeah.
the stuff you were able to salvage.
Well, they're working on it, but I expected to see all of this patched together with nice white comb in between. That's why I gave them more than half a gallon of syrup.
Well, to play devil's advocate here, they're not a swarm. A swarm is comb builders.
Yeah,
Colony, not so much.
but when you do, come on, ladies, don't get up in my shorts.
Did you spray your legs?
No, I never do.
Ah. So why did you expect them to have it all fixed
Well,
in a
I
week?
expect them to act like a swarm because they had been so disrupted.
Uh,
But I guess when the queen went upstairs and started laying up there, they just decided that was where their priority was. I mean, I can't object. They drew out two whole frames of foundation up there, both sides
Yeah.
on one and one side on the other so far.
I think this colony came from a managed hive.
They saw better quarters and decided to move in.
Yeah. I think they liked the maybe their last home had foundation.
Well, then they should have been a little more particular about their choice of locations. Okay. Well, I know I put that second box on after we had closed down the video before. So, yeah, an hour or so after we did the video that you guys just finished watching, I came out with 3 frames of brood comb and 2 frames of foundation. I melted some wax and got a brush and I waxed that foundation with almost smooth. I mean, I put a whole lot of wax on it for them, and they apparently appreciated it. So they appear to mostly have just moved up to the upper box. They had to have it, by the way. An hour after we did the video you just watched, I came out here and, well, then there was no room for all the bees in there. They were bearded like crazy. I came out after dark and they were still not able to get them all in there. But when I gave them this, I just came out and put that on there real quick. Boom, 5 minutes later, no bearding. Everybody more than happily went inside. Yep. So apparently these girls were used to better living conditions than what they had found themselves in there, I guess. Oh well. There you go. That's the end of that one. They're going to be fine. There was plenty of open brood on that one comb. So that should take care of it.
So we know they have a queen.
We know they have a queen, and well, we know she did enough so that if there is a problem with her, they have the resources necessary to make themselves a new one. Because obviously they've been bringing in plenty of pollen, and she's been doing some laying, so we're good. That's the end of this one. Won't need to update you anymore on this probably. Uh, I may eventually swap these 2 boxes top for bottom to get them to come up and maybe work on those other combs some, although they're in such ratty shape. If they don't work on them, I won't hold it against them. So this has been Rich, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Do be sure to like and subscribe, particularly like. Come on, guys, give me some likes here so that we can get our algorithm in good shape. Talk to you later. Bye.